As was the case for a lot of prognosticators last week, Week 10 was not a good week at all, so we just want to forget about it and move on to Week 11. Welcome to Billievers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to a pick'em edition of Billievers Talk, where we go through every single game coming up this week. This week, Week 11, we're going to cover the games straight up, and we're also going to give you the games against the spread, give you my predictions. Hopefully, we do better than last week, guys. Last week was abysmal for a lot of predictors out there. Again, guys, before we do that, I want to remind everyone to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed to Billievers Talk, as not only do we keep you up to date on our Buffalo Bills, we also give you these pick'em videos and also keep you update on all Buffalo sports. So you want to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave a comment. Tell me who you think is going to win these games Week 11. Now, again, guys, I want to remind everyone that Billievers Talk, teaming up with #sports, give you the best live play-by-play and reaction coverage to the Buffalo Bills, including this Sunday against the Miami Dolphins. Join me here on YouTube or over on sportscaster.com, where we're changing the game for live play-by-play and reaction coverage. Also, Billievers Talk teaming up with BewareTheStampede.com. Go to BewareTheStampede.com for all your Buffalo Bills information. Jeremy from BewareTheStampede.com just started out podcast. Does a great job. Go ahead and check that out. Some great writers over there, and you'll find me over there as well. So go to BewareTheStampede.com for your Buffalo Bills information. So let's get into this pick'em video. Again, Week 12 in the NFL. Again, Week 11, not that good for too many people, and I couldn't avoid the bug. It was a rough week for everybody involved. Week 10. Week 11. No, I was right the first time, Joe. Believe in yourself. Week 11, straight up, I went 4-9, bring my record overall to 83-65. And then against the spread, I went 5-8, bring my record to 78-74 this season. Let's hope that we improve on that this week, Week 12. And of course, it all starts tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football. And as many of you know, I do go live around halftime of Thursday Night Football to preview the Buffalo Bills coming up opponent. So tomorrow evening during halftime of Thursday Night Football, come back here. Check us out. We'll be live giving you a preview of the game between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. But all starts tomorrow night as the Pittsburgh Steelers go into Cleveland to play the Cleveland Browns. Browns just beating our Bills last week. The Steelers with a good win over the Rams. A short week. Again, guys, you know how I feel about short weeks, especially for the road team. You have the Cleveland Browns currently sitting at 3-point favorites in this one. Again, kind of weird how a 5-4 Pittsburgh team is an underdog to a 3-6 Cleveland Browns team. Vegas doing the same thing they did last week, confusing us bettors a little bit, and not sure why Vegas is giving the Cleveland Browns this big of an edge against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers, as I talked about just the other day, big playoff implications in pretty much every game they play from here on out, especially for our Buffalo Bills. But huge playoff implications, as currently they find themselves tied with three other teams, and they're currently sitting in that 6th spot, owning some tiebreakers. Well, if you lose a couple more AFC games, you don't own those tiebreakers. So there's a little bit of desperation in Pittsburgh. We heard what Baker Mayfield said to the Cleveland Browns fan base, pleading with them basically to keep believing in the Cleveland Browns and keep supporting the Cleveland Browns. And I think the support really shows out this Thursday night. And again, you know how much I don't like the road teams on Thursday Night Football. I think that continues here. Would be a huge help for the Buffalo Bills. I know we were against the Cleveland Browns last week, but here we are this week cheering for the Browns on Thursday Night Football. Give me the Browns to win this game, and give me the Browns to cover a 3-point spread on Thursday Night Football. Moving to the 1 o'clock Sunday games. Again, guys, we're done in London for the season. I'm not the biggest fan of the London games anyhow, but you don't have to wake up at 9 a.m. anymore this season. So we start with the 1 o'clock games on Sunday. And I'm going to start with the Houston Texans at Baltimore Ravens, a game that might be the best game of the week. I think it's going to be a really good matchup. Houston looking pretty good. They're a half game up on the Indianapolis Colts as we speak. So we know that they're fighting for the AFC South title. So we know that they must win these games, especially these tough games against Baltimore. Now, we know last week was a tough week for upsets, and Baltimore escaped, completely dominating the Cincinnati Bengals. But I think in this one, the Houston Texans might have an edge. I think the Baltimore Ravens are a better team, But I think it's time for the Baltimore Ravens to have a letdown game of their own. The Baltimore Ravens are 4-point favorites, and give me Houston to win this game outright. I really like Houston in this game for some reason. Deshaun Watson, I'm a huge fan of his, and I think he has what it takes to beat this Baltimore Ravens team. So give me the Houston Texans to win this game straight up, and that means give me the Houston Texans to beat the spread of -4 points. Dallas Cowboys at Detroit Lions. Dallas, again, needing to stay above the Philadelphia Eagles. Now they're tied after a loss to Minnesota last week. Dallas has the head-to-head one right now. So obviously that game coming up later this season between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles is going to be a huge game. But I know that Dallas knows that they have to win these games. And this is a game that's a winnable game against the Detroit Lions team that's below 500. We know how Dallas does against below 500 teams really well. The problem is when you get to above 500 teams, they don't seem to do as well. Sounds like a familiar problem, right? But give me the Dallas Cowboys to win this game, and give me the Dallas Cowboys to cover a 3.5-point spread. They are favored by 3.5 points. I expect this to be at least a 5 to 6 point game. So give me Dallas to cover that spread. Then you go to Tampa Bay, where the stunned and surprised New Orleans Saints come into town. Drew Brees and the boys looking to bounce back after a tough loss at home to the Atlanta Falcons, a team now that only has 2 wins. So they go against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jameis Winston pulling out a win over Arizona last week in what was a great game. But I think the Saints are going to be too mad and too ready to bounce back after a tough loss to be put down in this game by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Give me the Saints to win this game. Give me the Saints to cover a 5.5-point spread. I expect this to be a double-digit win for the New Orleans Saints, again, after being embarrassed at home by the Atlanta Falcons. I think that they come out and prove that they are one of the best teams in the NFC. They have the team that beat them last week, the Atlanta Falcons, at the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are currently 5.5-point favorites. I know Atlanta is on a high right now, right? But the New Orleans Saints game was pretty much their Super Bowl. Sitting there at 2-7, 2-8, whatever it is, they know that they don't have a good shot making the playoffs, if they have a shot all at this point. So going into Carolina, they might have already hit their peak, beating the New Orleans Saints. So time for a letdown game against Carolina. I know that Allen's in for Carolina, not Newton, for the rest of the season. Newton been placed on IR. Give me the Panthers to win this game at home, but give me the Falcons to cover a 5.5-point spread. I think that's just too big of a spread for the Carolina Panthers to cover. Then you go to the Jacksonville Jaguars at Indianapolis Colts game. The Colts favored by 3 points. And here's the thing. 2 injury-related news for both quarterbacks in this game. First of all, for the Colts, don't know if Jacoby Brissett's going to be playing. It still could be Hoyer, and we saw how Hoyer looked last week against the Miami Dolphins, just couldn't score points. And then for the Jacksonville Jaguars, they get Nick Foles back, right? Nick Foles injured, breaks his collarbone week 1. They get him back after Minshew mania kind of died down a little bit. Here comes Nick Foles. Might right the ship in Jacksonville and might actually leap them into playoff contention, possibly. And I think it starts with this week here. Right now, the Colts record against the Jaguars in recent years has not been that good. I think they're 0 for the last 7 or something like that against the spread against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Give me the Jaguars to win this game, and that means give me the Jaguars to beat a 3-point spread, as the Indianapolis Colts are favored by 3 at home. Then on to the Denver Broncos at Minnesota Vikings game. The Vikings 10.5-point favorites, one of the few AFC versus NFC matchups on the slate for Sunday. And give me the Minnesota Vikings to win this game. I really like Minnesota, especially at home. I think Kirk Cousins is playing really well. A big win Sunday night against the Dallas Cowboys. But give me the Denver Broncos. 10 points is a lot. Denver's been staying in these games. So give me the Denver Broncos to cover the spread. I know Joe Flacco is not playing, but I'd like Denver to cover the spread. Keep it close. The defense is playing pretty well. Give me the Minnesota Vikings to win this game. Give me the Denver Broncos to cover a 10.5-point spread. Then you have the Jets at Redskins. Should be an awful game. Might be close, might be competitive, but that's just because of how these two teams are this season. Neither team doing pretty well. The Jets have 2 wins on the season. The Washington Redskins have 1. The Redskins are currently a 1-point favorite at home. I like the Washington Redskins to win this game. Why? I don't know, just because. And give me the Washington Redskins then to cover the spread. I just think the Jets coming off a win last week, very high on themselves to move up to 2-7. Give me the Washington Redskins coming off a bye week, get a little extra rest. and get a little extra time to prepare for the New York Jets, Jets. And then you go to our game, the last 1 o'clock game of the day that I'm going to cover, the Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins. We also happened when Miami came to Buffalo. It was a lot closer than we wanted it to be. I think the final score was 31-21 off the top of my head. The Buffalo Bills currently 6-point favorites in this one to beat the Miami Dolphins in Miami. Again, I think the Bills going to this one a little more prepared for Fitzpatrick, for the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins coming in on a 2-game winning streak. I think it's time for the Buffalo Bills to prove they are the better team. Now, again, I know last week was a tough week, a loss to Cleveland, but if you've watched any of the press conferences, you know Coach McDermott, pretty bad right now. Pretty mad. He hasn't said it straight out right, but just by his demeanor, you could tell, especially today. And I think the Buffalo Bills are going to win this game. So give me the Bills to win straight up. Give me the Bills to cover a 6-point spread in this one, as I think the Bills try to make a point against the Miami Dolphins. Going on to the 4 o'clock games, you have the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers suffering their first loss of the season in a classic game on Monday Night Football, losing on a last-second overtime field goal against the Seattle Seahawks to lose that one, fall to 9-1 on the season, or 8-1, I forget which one. And then they play against the Arizona Cardinals. Guys, the Cardinals lose to Tampa Bay, but the Cardinals have been playing a lot of really close games recently. I think Cardinals have been playing better than what some experts predicted. And I like the Arizona Cardinals. I like the direction they're heading. Now, I don't think they're going to win this game. I think this game goes to the San Francisco 49ers. But you look at an 11.5-point spread. And I know San Fran bombarded the Carolina Panthers, right? But the Arizona Cardinals are a team that's used to being behind, used to losing so far this season. I think they have what it takes to cover the spread. I think they're going to keep it close, this division rivalry. I think they're going to keep it close, lose this game, but cover an 11.5-point spread, maybe even a single score loss by the Arizona Cardinals in this one. So give me the 49ers straight up. Give me the Cardinals to cover the spread. Then you have a game that I'm really looking forward to, and again, I think this might go with the Houston-Baltimore game. It's possibly the best game of the week, as both these teams coming off a bye week. The New England Patriots go into Philadelphia and play the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, on their bye week, the Philadelphia Eagles get a break from the Minnesota Vikings, being the Dallas Cowboys. So now the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys are both neck and neck, both with the same record, tied for that division in the NFC East. New England Patriots had 2 weeks to look at a loss to the Baltimore Ravens and kind of steam up about it, right? Get a little mad about that. And the last thing you want is a Tom Brady, Bill Belichick machine coming at you when they're mad. So the Eagles come into this game, and a lot of people think they might be sacrificial lambs to the New England Patriots, but I think nuh-uh. I think the Eagles, as they did against Green Bay, as they did against the Buffalo Bills, they are at home now in front of their home crowd. I think they know they have to win this game, and I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to beat the New England Patriots in this game. So give me the Patriots to, give me the Eagles to win this game, and give me the Eagles to cover and beat the spread, which is currently having New England favored as 3.5 points. Then you go on to Oakland, one of the surprise teams maybe of the season, a team that's very much in the AFC wildcard race, and also fighting for their division, as well as the Oakland Raiders are at home to play the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals, as we all know, winless on the season, just look really bad so far. The Raiders are 10.5-point favorites, and kind of like the Bills against the Dolphins the first time we played when they were double-digit favorites. I don't know if Oakland's used to being a double-digit favorite, and I think this works against them in this case. Now, I think, again, the Raiders, kind of like the 49ers I talked about earlier, the Raiders are going to win this game. But I wonder if they can cover a 10.5-point spread. I don't think they can. I think Cincy shows a little fight. I don't know why I'm picking Cincy against the spread so much this season. Really, they've let me down most of the year. So I don't know why I pick them against the spread here. But give me the Raiders to win this game. Give me the Bengals to cover a 10.5-point spread. Then you go on to Sunday Night Football. And you have the Chicago Bears going up against the LA Rams. Rams losing a close, tough game to the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. The Bears coming out victorious against division rival Detroit Lions without Matthew Stafford. Now, I like LA in this game to win, but 6.5 points, neither team has really impressed me enough to think they could cover a 6.5-point spread. So give me the Rams to win, give me the Bears to cover a 6.5-point spread. Then you move on to Monday night. Monday night, you got the Kansas City Chiefs at the LA Chargers. The Chiefs currently 3.5-point favorites. Patrick Mahomes is back. This one's supposed to be in Mexico City. We'll see what happens there as Mexico City I think the last time Mexico City went to host a game, they had to cancel it, and then the NFL makes other arrangements for the game to be played. So the Chiefs at LA Chargers, but technically this game being played in Mexico City. So I like the Chiefs to win this game straight up. Give me the Chiefs to cover the spread after a tough loss to the Tennessee Titans last week. Again, they know they have Oakland nipping at their heels, so they want to keep ahead of the Oakland Raiders. Now, LA coming off a long week where they played on Thursday night, so they do have a little bit more time to rest, more time to prepare for a division rivalry game. But I like the Kansas City Chiefs in this one, and I like them to cover the spread. If you are still in the Survivor Pool after last week, first of all, congratulations, holy cow. But my Survivor Pool pick of the week would be the Oakland Raiders. I am out of all my Survivor Pools after last week. A tough week on a lot of levels for a lot of teams, so I'm out of my Survivor Pools. But if I were in the Survivor Pool, I think the Oakland Raiders are the pick. I haven't picked them yet, and I think they'll give you guys another victory. And congratulations if you are still in a Survivor Pool. I didn't go over the bye weeks this week, so I'll go over that right now. The bye weeks this week are the Packers, Giants, Seahawks, and Titans. They're all on a bye this week, so we have 14 games this week. I just went over all the winners straight up and against the spread. I'll do it again real quick. I got the Browns, Texans, Cowboys, Saints, Panthers, Jaguars, Vikings, Redskins, Bills, 49ers, Eagles, Raiders, Rams, and the Chiefs. Against the spread, I got the Browns, Texans, Cowboys, Saints, Falcons, Jaguars, Denver, Redskins, Bills, Cardinals, Eagles, Bengals, Bears, and Chiefs. So those are my picks for Week 11. Again, hopefully we do a little bit better than we did in Week 10. I hope that we do. I look forward to talking to you all soon again. If you guys haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and let me know who you think is going to win Week 11. I will talk to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.